one of the very best welterweights on the planet. We have not seen him since December of this past year. He fought Shavkat Rakhmonov on short notice. Seemed to be upset that he didn't get the call to fight Belal Muhammad for the belt in Montreal after that whole switch with Leon Edwards and Sean Brady and Shavkat and everything that went down. Was kind of waiting in the wings there for a moment. And then bam, we found out just a couple of weeks ago that he's returning on April 26th in Kansas City against Carlos Prates. Prates is supposed to fight this weekend. They moved him to April 26th. And this is a gigantic fight. And if I'm a ticket buying fan who was going to that event in Kansas City, I think I hit the jackpot. That original main event was incredible, but this one, the stakes feel a little bit bigger. And so without further ado, let us go to our next guest and say hello to the pride of Ireland, the pride of Brazil, the great Ian Machado Garry. Hello, Ian. How are you?
How are you, dude? You good?
I'm doing great. And by the way, I'm wondering, we were talking about this beforehand. I know you're a proud Irishman. I know you love golf. Are we happy on this Monday? Are you a Rory guy to see him win the Masters?
Yes, I'm a massive fan of Rory. I'm very proud to see him finally get that green jacket. I think he needed it for his career, and I think he's already incredible, but that now just puts the kind of cherry on top.
Yeah, it was beautiful stuff. Good for him winning the Grand Slam. Okay, let's talk about you. And actually, I don't want to first start with April 26th. Let's take a few steps back. I remember speaking to you right after the Shavkat fight, and it was a great win. Some would say your stock goes up, moral victory. I know you're not here for those types of accolades, but it was a nice night. I know you can't go to the bank and deposit those things, but it was a good night at the office for you, and a lot of people were counting you out, and I think the respect that people had for you grew exponentially. And then the next time you kind of emerged, at least for me and on my radar, was you seemed genuinely upset that you didn't get the call to fight for the belt after Shavkat withdrew, and then Sean had to fight Leon, and then they moved Jack Della. Is that an accurate assessment of how you felt a couple of months ago?
Absolutely. I think your word withdrew is the word that kind of bugs me on that, because I don't believe Shavkat withdrew due to just pure choice of not wanting to fight for a title, but from what I'm hearing is more an injury. An injury that I absolutely believe he sustained in the fight with me due to the amount of heel kicks I put to his knee. And then, we're in a world title fight fighting for the number one contender spot. So the guy who wins the fight, and rightfully so, I believe he still won the fight to this day, he gets the shot. But if he's not available, it makes logical sense to go to me, not a guy who's been out for a year and off an injury of a forearm and repetitively had to kind of go down that line of longer healing.
And so when you find out that news, what are you thinking? Are you
I was steaming red.
Okay.
I was in an Uber on the way home from training at Shoot the Box, and my agent called me and filled me in, and I hung the phone up, and I was like, give me a moment, I'll call you back. I was just seething, because I'm like, all right, this is how it is. Okay. And yeah, I just had to kind of deal with that.
Ultimately, why do you think they didn't go your direction?
The words I heard were, we can't give him a title shot off a loss. And I'm like, yeah, but you can. And you have them many times in the past.
Okay.
So I kind of just went, you know what? I've got a lot to do and I'm excited for, and April 26th will show the world what's up.
Okay, we'll just move chronologically here. Brady beats Leon, and he does so in very convincing and dominant fashion. Did that surprise you?
No, not at all. We seen in the Kamaru fight, we've seen in the Belal fight, and we've seen in the Sean Brady fight, that when the going gets tough, Leon doesn't like to be there. And I believe Belal Muhammad put out the blueprint for everyone to go out and beat Leon Edwards, put him on the back foot, take him down, smash him, control him, and he'll quit. Starts cursing at his corners, doesn't want to be there. When the going gets tough, he's not a fighter at heart. And Sean Brady, as boring as he is very, very good at what he does. Like, there's nothing exciting off the mic, on the mic, or outside of the cage about the two blokes, but like, they're talented in the octagon, and Sean Brady was just far more talented.
And when you say that he's boring, do you mean his fighting style as well?
No, I just mean as a person.
Okay.
I think his fighting style, like, I see there's a lot of people with Belal, they call Belal's fighting style boring. I'm like, yeah, but not if you're the guy on top doing the damage. Not if you're the guy who's winning, and not if you're the guy who's got the belt wrapped around his waist. And I feel like Belal and Sean Brady have a very similar game. And I feel like they're very talented and they're very good, and they don't get as much respect as they deserve.
So shortly after that fight comes and goes, and we're preparing, okay, there's the title fight May 10th. We know that Carlos is fighting in Miami. We find out that Jeff Neal is out, and we're wondering what they're going to do with Carlos. Is he going to stay on the card against someone else? Are you going to fight him in Miami? Is Joaquin Buckley going to fight him? Is someone of that nature? And then all of a sudden we find out, okay, it's been moved to Kansas City, and it's you, and it's a 5-round main event. Can you tell us through how this comes about? And ultimately, why do you agree to this? Another short notice fight against another great fighter.
Let's start there. I mean, is that not what I'm in this sport for? The excitement, fuck it, let's go. Let's have a short notice fight against one of the most dangerous up-and-comers in the UFC. Let's do it, 100%, why not? That's the type of things that excite me, that make me want to go out and prove to the world, I'm the best, watch. So I was so how it all happened, I was in Madrid cornering a teammate of mine from Shoot the Box. And I get a call from my agent, and he's like, hey, we've just had, can you fight short notice? And I was like, what's short notice? And he was like, 25 days. I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, sure. I hung up the phone, and then he rings me back and goes, hey, you just hung up? I was like, yeah. He was like, are you in? I was like, yeah, tell the UFC I'm in. I was like, 25 days, let's go, let's do it. Why not? And he's like, don't you want to know who it's against? I was like, oh yeah, that's probably important. I was so focused on the corner and us getting everything doing that I completely forgot about what we were talking about. I was like, yeah, for sure. Who is it? He goes, Carlos Prates. I was like, oh, sweet. See him then.
Wow. Why that reaction?
Because I want to fight. I'm a fighter at heart. They don't call us the Fighting Irish for nothing. It's in my blood. It's in my body. It's in my soul. I want to fight. I want to put on a show. I want to have fun. And I feel like I'm at a point in my career where I just want to go out there and beat the best guys and body them and show everyone how talented I am.
Okay, so Carlos has been on a roll. There's a lot of buzz surrounding him, surrounding his team. Have you been, I don't know, I look at your face there. Have you been impressed? Have you been impressed with what he's done? Wins over Neil Magny?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I think he's been successful. I think he's done very well. There's a reason he's on like a 10-fight knockout streak, and fair play to him. That's great. But I think his team is phenomenal. I love watching his team. Do you know what I mean? I think his team are awesome, and they're having a lot of success at the moment, and they're a lot of fun to watch. So yeah, I'm impressed with him to a certain extent. And then I think of him as an opponent, and I'm like, that's not going to work out well for you, mate.
Is it one of those things perhaps where you look at who he's knocked out and then you compare yourself to those guys and say there's a big gap in talent here?
What do you think?
Well, this is not my interview. I'm the one asking the questions to you. But yes, obviously, I mean, you don't have to sit on the. Of course, there's a massive gap there, and so do you put stock into that?
I'm of the most elite welterweights on the planet. So if this man thinks he's as good as he is, then when he steps across the octagon on April 26th against me, that's his do or don't time. And I promise you, you've seen it from me every time. When I step in that octagon, I look phenomenal. And I promise you right now, Ariel, I promise you, I feel it in my heart. I see it every time I close my eyes. I'm going to finish this guy.
Wow. And there's the risk and reward, and I know you've addressed it as well. Short notice. People are just, when you have more time, you're better, right? And so to do this to yourself twice, was there anyone who was like, hey, let's just try to get this fight International Fight Week? Because I think before it all materialized, that's what you were gunning for, right? You wanted to return on International Fight Week, just so you can have more time and not put yourself behind the eight ball. Did that come into play at all?
No, it didn't. Originally, yes, I wanted to fight in June on International Fight Week because I wanted to evolve and grow and just continue getting better and better and better and let the division unfold. And there's going to be a lot of movement over the next couple of weeks and months in the welterweight division, which I'm very proud to see. Finally, thank the Lord. But no, if anything, it was the opposite, Ariel. My team, everyone that surrounds me is very, very glass half full. And here's an opportunity. Let's go. Let's prove it. Let's show the world how talented you are. Let's go. Let's go out and do it against someone who everyone's very high on and show the world that you're just that much better. To show the world that you think he's good. Well, watch this. See what I can do to him.
If everything would have gone to plan, meaning Leon fights Jack Della and Belal fights Shavkat, who do you think you would have ended up fighting? And Carlos fought Jeff Neal. If all those original fights remained intact and there wasn't this whole thing, how do you think your story would have unfolded here for your next fight?
I don't know. And I think it's kind of pointless to think about who it would have been rather than who it is right now. And that man is Carlos Prates. He's coming in with a lot of steam, a lot of hype, and a lot of confidence. And I'm glad that he has that because he's going to need every ounce of it when he steps into the octagon against me. I'm as fast and as talented as they come. The speed I bring is different. The vision I have is unrivaled. And I'm excited to go out there and prove it.
I saw you posted a picture of, I guess, saying like if you beat him, you get his CPF card. What is that? Like, is that his ID? What are we fighting for here?
It's like an international ID, a Brazilian ID that if you want to get like a house, a car, you go to the pharmacy, you want to buy something, they ask you for it, it's there. And I'm just like, yo, you want to fight? I'll fight you for your CPF for sure. I want to buy a house in Brazil. I want to live in Brazil. Give me a CPF. If I win, give it to me.
So does it can a foreigner not get one?
I don't believe so, unless you get the Brazilian documentation. My whole family's got Brazilian passports. I'm getting mine's coming. Don't worry about that.
Okay,
right? Mine's coming. It'll get there in time. But I don't believe I'll get one straight away. It'll have to be kind of a time process thing, I believe.
A process, okay. You're a high-level athlete. You seem to care. I see you talking about nutrition, about training. You're growing up. You're probably drinking some kind of green shake or something right then and there.
A beautiful protein shake. Get myself ready. Get myself prepared. Look, it's just how you got to do it.
Could I ask, when you hear, as good as he is, that he smokes 10 to 15 cigarettes a day, what do you make of that?
I want to see him when he's not on. I want to see him jittering, shaking, needing one, getting into the octagon. That's what I'd love to see. I think it adds a lot of character to him, and I think if he was who he is and didn't drink and didn't smoke and didn't party, would he be as exciting as he is? Probably not. And that's nothing to do with his fighting, but he's just a bit of a character. And people like that. And that's okay. But I'm as talented as athletes get. And remember, Ariel, I chose to fight. This was my choice. I could have done many, many things in my life. I chose to fight because I'm in here, I'm violent. And I love to show it, and I love to go out there and prove it every single time I get in that octagon. And Prates is going to be the example I set to the world about how good I am on April 26th.
What are we fighting for here? What's at stake here in this fight?
There's a lot of ways I can answer that question. There's a lot of avenues I could take it. I believe that in the next 12 months, by the end of this calendar year maybe, that belt is getting wrapped around my waist. I've shown the world I'm as game gets. I've shown the world I'm not afraid of anyone. I don't care who you are, what you've done in your career, I'm not afraid of you. I'm going to step into that octagon every single time I get in there again now. And I'm going to punch a hole in front of whoever's head is in front of me. I'm going to dominate and destroy everyone because I'm even more dangerous now.
Is it possible that all of this, the way this all has panned out, the Shavkat fight, not getting picked, them going with Jack, has this given you an edge? Has this given you a bit of a chip on your shoulder?
I guess you could say so. I guess you could say that. I kind of want to get it and show you, but I framed in my bedroom me on Shavkat's back in the first round, so that every day I get up out of bed, I see that fucking thing and it burns my soul.
Why'd you do that?
So that every day I get up, I make sure that I go out and I get better and I evolve and I become the best version of me I possibly can to go out and show myself and everyone that supports me and wants to see me do well and everyone that hates me and wants to see me lose that I'm the best in the world.
You want to be reminded of this within seconds of waking up? When you win the belt, do you take that thing down?
Never lose sight of the goal. Never lose sight of the focus. I tell you what's even better, Aaron. Tell you what's even better, right? Haven't got there yet. In this room behind me, right? It's my drawing room. Look at that, very posh, very fancy. New house. I have my Cage Warriors belt. I'm going to frame it. And above it, I'm going to buy a blank case. And I'm just going to put the words coming soon in it. So that every day I walk into that room, which is my favorite room in the house, and I go to relax and be quiet and just meditate and be calm, I'm going to see an empty case. And I'm not going to stop until that thing's full.
Hey there, sorry to interrupt. Just want to remind you, if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate it very much. And while you're at it, give us a thumbs up too. You know, we've got live shows, interviews, clips, and a whole lot more going on this here channel. All right, now back to the show. Is there a chance you win this fight, you're fighting for the belt next? Do you believe that?
100%. 100%. When I look at it, 100%. You know, Belal has said it himself that he believes I'm the toughest stylistic matchup for him. Me versus Jack is a great fight, fan fight, strikers, delight, whatever you want to call it. It's very, very entertaining. But also, when I knock out Prates, and I've just come off the back of that really, really close fight with Shavkat, and Shavkat's injured because of it, who do you want to see Belal fight next? Do you want to see him fight Sean Brady next? Or do you want to see him fight Machado Garry? What's the bigger fight? If you're the UFC and you're set on a pay-per-view and the main event it's obvious. It's me. I get the attention. I get people riled up. Love me or hate me, I'm the best in the world, and it's my job to show it.
Does that mean you think Belal beats Jack Della?
Oh, 100%. Okay. 100%. And again, look, I think Jack's phenomenally talented. Don't get me wrong. I think he's very, very good at what he does, but stylistically, I've watched Gilbert Burns ragdolled him for 2.5 rounds and then unfortunately get caught. I watched, what's his name? Basil. Can't remember his second name. That's the guy. I watched him ragdoll Jack, and I believe Jack lost that fight. It's stylistically not a good fight for him. Now, if he comes out and puts on the show, like the show of his life, and proves everyone that he can stop the takedown, he can stop the pace, then wow, good job, fair play to you. But sitting here right now, I think Belal steamrolls him.
And it's probably better for you in the division if you want it to work out this way if Belal wins, because it sounds like if Belal doesn't win, Islam is going to move up, and that might delay things.
That's also exciting. Do you know what I mean? That guy is, you want to talk about talented fighters in every facet of the game, that man's as clean as they come. And then, Jesus, you give him no real weight cut, God, I'd do that fight in a heartbeat. You know, that's like, you want to test your skills, you want to see if you're one of the best in the world, fight this guy.
Actually, you know, I'm actually wrong. I need to correct myself. If Belal loses, and I know you say that you don't think, we could look at a scenario, you win on April 26th, Islam would then move up, and all of a sudden, who would have thunk it? It's Islam versus Ian Machado Garry for the belt in, I don't know, October.
Could be.
Who could have predicted that?
I tell you one thing. UFC called me. You think I'm saying no? Have I proven myself already?
No. You have talked the talk and walked the walk.
You know what's also funny? Since the day I made my UFC debut, I'm the second most active fighter across all weight divisions in the entire UFC. Second only to one man. Do you know who that one man is?
Alex Pereira.
There you go.
Yeah.
We made our debut on the same night. MSG. And since that point, this is I believe my 10th fight in the UFC, which is mental. We're getting to that veteran stage now. Like, we've been here, we've done this, we own this show now. And Pereira, I think, maybe has 12. And he saved 2 big events. I'm as active as they come. I'm as game as they come. There aren't fighters in the world built like me. And I'm excited to go out there and put on a show for all of the UFC fans. When we talk about April 26th, my first main event, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make sure that everybody that is paid to be in that stadium gets the fight that they came to see. I'm going to finish Carlos Prates. I'm going to make it look easy. And I will beat him every second of that fight.
There is like an intensity, like a sort of like, and I say this with the utmost love and respect, like a serial killer like mentality to you now. It's very American Psycho, Rory McDonald-esque. Do you get what I'm saying right now? I don't think
I hear you. I feel it. Trust me.
Yeah, like the way you look into the camera there to say that, I feel like you're staring into my soul here. Like, I feel like if we were face to face, you would eat my head off.
I mean it, Ariel. I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone else other than myself when I get into the octagon. And I've always said that that's the thing I love to do the most, is prove that I was right. There was a 16-year-old kid who had a dream in Dublin, Ireland, sat in his bedroom watching UFC fights going, one day I want to be there. I'm not letting that 16-year-old down. I'm not letting that 16-year-old go, oh, we tried it. I'm having that 16-year-old live out his dream, live it to full potential, and shoot for the fucking stars.
Before I let you go, I just want to read you a quote from Sean Brady just to kind of set the mood even more so. He said, I went out there and took this opportunity. He told this to us on our show. I heard he was bitching that he didn't get the fight with Belal. Bro, you lost your fight. What are you talking about? You came in second place. You don't get to be rewarded for that. It made the most sense for it to be Jack. You're at number 7 at this point. You lost your last fight. I've won 3. I just beat a former champion who was a great champion. I've got bigger things going on than Ian Machado Garry.
Sean Brady loves mentioning my name. Do you know that? I swear I'm in that man's head. We have the same manager. and their agent, sorry, with the same agent. And I swear to God, I always, every time Sean's name is mentioned, when it's fighting and everything, he's always, always, always calling my name. He just has this weird obsession. I think he's jealous that I'm just beautiful and handsome. He looks like something out of Lord of the Rings.
I feel like this one has to happen at some point.
I punched him out off him. He'd try shoot an ugly takedown. I'd put a knee through his nose and he'd never be able to bleed and breathe again. I'd squish it.
How does April 26th end?
Now, keep thinking about this. And I see way too many visuals. Every time I sit down in the sauna and I visualize it, I just constantly seeing his head being bounced off the canvas. I constantly see it. I see people shocked, grabbing their heads, going, oh my God, I can't believe he just did that. I just see way too many ways to get there. There's so many options for me. And I believe on the night, I will just go freely and calmly. I'll stand in front of him and I'll do whatever I please.
Can't wait. And by the way, congratulations, Marco Tullio giving you some major props on Saturday, saying the work that you guys have done together led to that moment.
Dude, I actually wanted to talk about him first. So thank you for bringing him up.
No problem.
Dude, do you hear how hard that man hits with every shot? Can you please now understand how horrible every round of training with him is? No matter what he throws, it hurts. And it comes out of nowhere as well. It's spinning kick, it's head kick, it's body kick, it's punch, punch, punch combo. It's everything hurts. When I tell you I'm as ready gets for anything in the world, it's because I've got training partners like him that mentally, physically push you. That I call him the Terminator, because he just takes it and walks forward. He's just unbelievably talented. And this is also another point, but I just love watching Brazilians fight, man. I love it. When you watch Marco Tullio on the weekend, and then you watch João Silva, and then you think about the greatest of all time, you think Jose Aldo, you think of Anderson Silva, you then think of all the shooter box history with Vanderlei Silva, and yada, 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 Damian Maia, Charles Oliveira, the list goes on. I feel like they just fight with so much heart and pride and venom because of where they come from and what they've had to do to get to that spot in the first place, that I feel like it's just beautiful to watch and see a kid go in there and just put everything on the line and come out with that win. And it makes me very happy. And I was hella emotional watching him get that win, because he's an amazing human, and I'm very proud to be a friend and a training partner of his.
Love it. Yeah, I love seeing him give you props as well. I know we have to go, but I just have to ask, because of 305, your old mate Colby and Patty going back and forth backstage. I'm sure you had a chuckle seeing all of that.
Firstly, yeah, there you go.
This is it. Yeah. What did you think when you saw this?
He just chats out his arse. And Patty said it perfectly at the press conference. Mr. Irrelevant, trying to just stay relevant. You know what I mean? The guy's been running for so long. He doesn't want to fight. He's not a fighter at heart. He'll do anything he possibly can to pick on the guy with the biggest potential or the biggest stardom and go after him to try to get some clout. And I think Paddy dealt with it like a professional. And I think Paddy looked amazing. Came out of that fight with the biggest performance of his life. He looked great. He did everything right. And I think having someone come up and shout at you and try to tear you down from that moment is just very low. And I think Paddy dealt with it very, very well.
Yeah, I agree. Ian, you are the man. Can't wait for this fight. 12 days away. There it is. The build-up's going to be great on the week in Kansas City. And the stakes are just gigantic. Good on you for taking this fight. And again, as you said it perfectly. What could they can't
Built
say anything
different
about you now, Ian. They can't say anything about you now, and I will defend that point. I
Even
think
if they do, Ariel, and even if they do you think I care? I'm going to go in there and do the dream. Like I said, I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream. I'm fighting at the highest level of this game. I'm fighting the best fighters in the world. I'm proving that I'm of the very, very elite on this planet. I'm doing my country proud. I'm flying flag every time I'm in that octagon. I'm going to bring another belt home to Ireland. There's people in Brazil who lose their absolute mind when I walk down the street. There's people in Oman who lose their mind seeing me. And they're like, what are you doing here? Do you know what I mean? I am just a kid who was in my bedroom dreaming about being a UFC fighter. I'm this close to getting that belt wrapped around my waist. And I fully believe within the next year, that belt is wrapped around my waist. And then what will they say? Then they have nothing to say. And I don't care if they do. I'm the best in the world, and I'm excited to prove it.
Good luck, Ian. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Tremendous stuff. There he is, Ian Machado Garry, climbing his way up the ranks. We've talked to Ian a bunch over the years. I've never seen that side of him. I've never seen, when he says, I'm this close, it is a little American Psycho-esque, and I don't say that as an insult. It's Rory. It's Carlos Condit. Like, there's an intensity to him. It's Robbie Lawler. By the way, all 170-pounders. That's weird. That's a different side of him. And maybe the best thing to ever happen to him was getting passed over. Maybe the best thing to ever happen to him was seeing that whole welterweight shift and him not getting the title shot or not getting the Leon opportunity, whatever it may have been. Look at where he is now. He's fighting against a supremely popular fighter, a fighter that's on a roll as of late, a fighter who's developed a reputation for being one of the most exciting fighters in the UFC. He has a certain aura to him, and he was preparing for a fight this past weekend, April 12th. So he just had to move things 2 weeks down the line. Ian was out traveling the world. I don't know how this one is going to play out. I don't even know who the favorite is in this fight, if I'm being 100% honest. But I can't wait for it. And I think it's a huge, huge, huge main event for a fight night in a pretty crappy part of the world. Who is the main event? Excuse me, who is the favorite going into that fight?
It's like minus 115, minus 105. Coin flip.
Coin flip. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.